I started to experience some weird symptoms, I would say, right after the new year. My hip, actually, my other hip, not the one I tore, began flaring up some issues. So I thought nothing of it. I went to a physical therapist. I was getting it looked at, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then I would say fast forward to mid-February, my family and I went on a skiing trip, and I was getting sore everywhere. I mean, it seemed like I had just done the craziest weight session of my life. I couldn't walk. And I was like, this is just not right. Something's a little off here. Why is my body responding in this way? Then come March, I started to wake up and have this chest pain. Now, mind you, March is when COVID was really starting to pick up in the US. And so I was like, I'm having chest pain. I'm not able to breathe very well. I need to go to the ER. So made the decision. I went to the ER and they took a CAT scan. They took my blood work and everything looked normal. So the only thing that showed on this CAT scan was a discoloration in my bone marrow, which as an athlete isn't super uncommon. So we went back, I went back to work in New York, didn't think much of it. And actually my dad is in sales for classical Hodgkin's lymphoma. And there were certain signs that things weren't adding up. One of the biggest was I had 2 experiences of night sweats. And most people sweat at night, but there is a difference between like, oh, I get hot and like, no, my bed is wet. This is just, that's not normal. So I went back home to Pennsylvania and I got a biopsy just to rule out the scary things, quote unquote, what my doctor said. Let's just get a biopsy to rule out. He was not concerned anything was wrong. And so I actually went back to New York after this. I had to wait 10 days for the biopsy to come back. And on March 11th, walking home from work on a Wednesday night, just like any other night, I was walking home. I got up to my apartment. I was by myself, and I knew this call from my doctor was coming, but I was not concerned even in the slightest. And I'll never forget answering the phone and having him say hello. And I knew, like you can tell in someone's voice if something's okay. And I could hear in his voice something was not okay. And he said, you have cancer, and it's lymphoma. And I just melted to the ground. And I put my phone on mute and I just screamed. And that's when my world just turned upside down.